Good morning, my students. Our lesson today, Unit 9, Lesson 9, Congruent Triangles. At the end of this lesson, you will be able to solve questions on congruency, and you will be able to show that if two triangles are congruent, and you will understand what congruency means. Our keywords for today is congruency and triangles. Today, now let's start by the starter activity. Which of these shapes is not congruent to the others? Which of these shapes is not congruent to the others? Who can tell me? I'll give you 1 second. Okay, yes, I hear somebody says shape B. Excellent. Shape B is not congruent to the others. Why? Can you tell me why? Because yes, they are same shape but different size. Yes, so they are not congruent. What is congruency? Congruency, it means that if we have two shapes, we can say that they are congruent if they have the same size and the same shape. If they have exactly the same size and the same shape. For example, here, these triangles are all congruent. Why they are all congruent? Because they have exactly the same size and the same shape. Even they are differently oriented or differently reflected or rotated, but they have the same size and the same shape, so we can call these triangles are congruent. These all triangles are congruent. Conditions for congruent triangles. Any one of the following four conditions is sufficient for two triangles to be congruent. So we have four conditions. Any of these conditions is sufficient for two triangles to be congruent. Let's start by condition 1. Condition 1 states that if all three sides of one triangle are equal to the corresponding sides of the other triangle, so the two triangles are congruent. Miss, I didn't understand. Can you explain more? Yes, I will explain. So in these two triangles in front of you, that in the first triangle, the three sides are equal to the corresponding sides in the other triangle. So the two triangles are congruent. So the first side here is 2.4 centimeter, corresponds to the other side in the second triangle 2.4 centimeter, and the second side is 2.2 centimeter, corresponding to the second side in the other triangle is 2.2 centimeter, and the third side 3 centimeter corresponds to the third side in the other triangle 3 centimeter. So if all three sides in one triangle are equal to the corresponding sides of the other triangle, so the two triangles are congruent. So this condition is known as SSS. It means SSS states for side, side, side. So condition 1, it means that if we have three sides in the first triangle is equal to the corresponding side for the other triangle, so the two triangles are congruent. This condition is known as SSS. It means side, side, side. Condition 2. Condition 2 states that if two sides and the angle between them of one triangle are equal to the corresponding sides and angle of the other triangle, so the two triangles are congruent. Miss, I didn't understand again. What does it mean? Can you explain? Yes, of course I will explain. It means that if we have two sides and the angle between them are congruent to the corresponding sides in the other triangle and the angle between them, so the two triangles are congruent. For example, here in these two triangles in front of us, that we have two sides 4 centimeter and 3 centimeter, and the angle between them is 50 degrees. They are congruent, they are equal to the other sides or the corresponding sides in the other triangle 4 centimeter and 3 centimeter, and the angle between them are equal. So these two triangles are congruent. Okay, this condition is known as SAS, side angle side. So condition 2 states that if we have two sides and angle between them of one triangle are equal to the corresponding sides and angle of the other triangle, so the two triangles are congruent, and you can say this condition is known as SAS, side angle side. Condition 3. Condition 3 states that if we have two angles and the side between of one triangles are equal to the corresponding angles and sides of the other triangle, so the two triangles are congruent. Yes, if we have two angles and one side between are corresponding to the two angles in the other triangle and the side, so the two triangles are congruent. For example, here we have two angles 30 degrees and 75 degrees and the side between them, so 4 centimeter corresponding to the other side in the other triangle, and the two angles are equal, so in this condition the two triangles are congruent. So this condition is known as ASA. It means angle side angle. Angle side angle. Condition 4. Condition 4 states that if both triangles have a right angle and equal hypotenuse and another equal side, so the two triangles are congruent. It means that if we have two right angles triangle, if we have two right angles triangle and they have the same hypotenuse and equal hypotenuse, and one side and equal and the other side one side are equal, so these two triangles are congruent. This condition is known as RHS, right angle hypotenuse side. So for example, here in these two triangles we have these two triangles are right angle triangle, and both in this triangle hypotenuse are equal, 9 equals to 9 centimeter, and also one side is equal to the corresponding side in the other triangle 4 centimeter, so these triangles are congruent. So this condition is known as RHS. It means right angle hypotenuse side. Once you have shown that triangle ABC is congruent to triangle PQR by one of the above conditions which we studied, the 4 conditions, it means that if they are congruent, it means that angle A is equals to angle P and angle B is equals to angle Q and angle C is equals to angle R. And also AB, line segment AB is equals to PQ and BC is equals to QR, and line segment AC is equals to PR. are. In other words, that here if we have two triangles are congruent, it means the corresponding angles are equal and the corresponding sides are equal. So in other words, here the points ABC correspond exactly to the points PQR in that order. So the corresponding sides are equal and the corresponding angles are equal. So triangle ABC is congruent to triangle PQR, can be written as triangle ABC and 3. This is the symbol for congruency equals to triangle PQR. For example, ABC is a kite. Prove that triangle ABC is congruent to triangle ADC. So we have here AB equals to AD equals to 5 centimeter and BC equals to CD equals to 12 centimeter and AC is common. So triangle ABC is congruent to triangle ADC by the first condition SSS side because the three sides in the first triangle corresponds to or equal to the three sides in the second triangle, so the two triangles are congruent. Thank you, grade 7. I hope that you understand our lesson today and you understand what does it mean congruency and how two triangles are congruent, how can you show that the two triangles are congruent, and how you solve questions involving congruent triangle. Thank you.